Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the Object 268, the most versatile tank destroyer in World of Tanks Blitz, and it is a perfect tank and a tech tree for all the newer players because of the ISU 152, the Object 704, etc, etc. Now this is my equipment. It looks quite standard. The only thing that you really need to choose between is the camo net and the improved optics, because it really depends on your playstyle. If you play like me, improved optics are probably better, and everything else you should leave the same. So if you really want to use the same equipment as me, go back and stop the video. Obviously, we're going to be jumping into 2 live games as usual in the Object 268. As I was saying, this is probably one of the best tech tree lines for newer players, especially if you want to grind a TD. It starts all the way at tier 6 with the SU 100, and then you get the SU 152 at tier 7, which is a pretty much like a tech tree version of the Smasher, and then at tier 8 you have the ISU 152 with the BL10 gun, which absolutely destroys tier 9s. And at tier 9 you have the Object 704 with its crazy DPM, which is higher than the Object 268. So what does the Object 268 have? It has great mobility, great camouflage, and a decent gun. When I mean decent gun, the gun is probably the most mediocre thing about it. Apart from that, it also has some decent armor, especially against medium tanks and light tanks. Of course, against heavies and other TDs, it can ricochet a few shots because of angles. Whoops, the battery just stopped. But apart from that, yeah, you will be able to bounce a few shots here and there because of the angles. But apart from that, most TDs and heavies will pretty much smash straight through your face. So here we're going to be taking the middle sector, and we're just going to be shooting tanks that pop up. Of course, I really hope the 100 doesn't shoot me back, and he does, and that's not a fair exchange. Never do you ever want to exchange shots with a TD, especially of the same alpha. If it was a 400 alpha tank, that would have been okay, but since it has the same alpha as us, it's always a loss for a TD because we have less HP. I think that makes sense. So at the moment we're losing, so we're going to be trying and focusing the mediums on this side to try and support our tanks in the middle. Currently we are kind of isolated, and if this IS-4 dies, it will be my turn. So I'm really trying to go for the leopard kill here with the HE maybe, and we do it. That's because I put on shell velocity in my equipment, so definitely try and use the shell velocity, because that's also another thing this tank really lacks. On top of that, the penetration on this thing is amazing. The DPM is quite good. So overall, it's a very comfortable it's a very comfortable machine to play with, and I recommend every single newer player to get this tank to actually try and learn the game. This was one of my first tier 10s, and I have over 1,000 games in this with 3,200 average or something like that, which is of course not the greatest result, but it is one of my first tier 10s, and I was quite proud of my results when I first started playing with this tank. So yeah, we pretty much finished off the Yo, and now we could get a shot on the E100, but I don't really think so because there's a Sheridan. Exactly, they both take him out quite quickly, and we are left with 4,500 damage for this game, which is not too bad, but it could have been better. If we did a 5k, it would have been much more impressive, but this tank is quite strong. So I really do like the new end game results, the way they show it. It's quite interesting to see. So we are at the top of the leaderboard as usual, and we're going to be jumping straight into the next game. So yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say about the 268. It is a very good all-around tank, and I think a newer player has to have this tank in his garage. If you're an older player, you have to have this as well, because it's quite versatile. So of course we're on dead rail. A lot of people would say go camp in the bush, but I am not a camper. I don't like camping in my TDs. Therefore, I'm going to do what I do in every single tank, and I'm going to be going up mid to try and shoot some of the enemies that are going to be crossing. They do have 2 TDs, a grill and a waffle, 1 medium tank, and 4 heavies, which is quite good because this means that they have a lot of juicy tanks on the enemy team. So here I'm going to be pushing straight up middle. The waffle wasn't able to get into position yet, so we can put a nice shot into the AMX. Okay, we will try and put another shot into the AMX 50B, is what I'm trying to say. At least we can cap B at this point, and here we can put another shot into the 50B, which will definitely go in. Not. It didn't go in. It didn't. That's 2 shots down the drain, and of course we have an IS-7 and an IS-4 putting pressure on our team through there. Let's try and get a blind shot here, and that shot doesn't even connect and it hits the ground. Amazing, amazing. Sometimes I just love Blitz, especially when these types of shots happen. There's a grill, but here we see the medium tank pushing us, and I don't really think he has any chance of doing anything, so let's try and put a shot into him. What is happening? World of Clowns is happening. I don't know what the hell this is. The enemy WZ just did some weird stuff right there. So let's try and put a shot into him. I'm sorry about the sounds coming from the outside, and it's really triggering me as well. I hope you guys don't mind. Let's try and put another shot into the WZ right here. And of course, that shot ricochets off of him because he's a super armored tank, more armored than the mouse, of course. Now we have a 60 TP on our side, and our team is falling apart. And of course, we do not penetrate him. I think we missed like 5 shots in this game already. And it's really triggering me at this point. Like, we're pretty much dead here. Let's try and get one more shot in before we die. Thank you. We got 2 shots in this whole game. That is astonishing. I mean, that's not really the 268, but I guess it is a live gameplay, so I have to show how it all goes down. So yeah, I don't really want to watch these teammates, in brackets of course, finish the game, because that would be a waste of time for you guys. But yeah, that's over for today's video, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy is out. Bye bye.